and welcome to today's video diary. So today I've had the opportunity to shadow Tim Waring, the senior team leader for VGE. One of the reasons that I requested to shadow Tim was, for me, he stands out as such a knowledgeable team leader. Since I've been in the business, I've had many times where I've been sitting with other fellow agents and they've not necessarily known the answer to something that's been a bit tricky, and normally 9 times out of 10 someone says, "Have you asked Tim?" To me, that stands out as a brilliant trait of a really approachable, motivated leader, because for one, he's approachable to have anybody come up and ask him a question, and two, he's motivated enough to go out there and learn all new things. So for example, the fact that he's leading the Converge project pilot at the moment speaks volumes of his character. He's not afraid to come out of his comfort zone and try new things. To me, that's something I would aspire to do. I think that is such a brilliant trait to have as a team leader. You can get stuck in a rut and you can continue to do the same day routine in and out. Tim, to me, shows that he's willing to go above and beyond in his career, always looking to develop in new areas, and I think that's fantastic. So from the beginning of the day, we sat down and we discussed how the routine normally flows. I met Tim at around 10 AM, where if I was in tiered and with my fellow agents, if I was shadowing any team leader in tiered, I would attend a buzz session. So straight away I did ask the question, do you guys have buzz sessions in the VGE world? And he advised they don't have them, they have business plans. So he showed me and went through the business plan, which looked at SLAs, queues and any other business. And to me, it was great to see the facts and figures on paper. However, I think it did miss that aspect of communication face to face, finding out exactly what's going on with other teams and being able to give an answer if a question is asked rather than ping-ponging emails back. I did ask if Tim would like to attend buzz sessions, and he did advise he's a very busy person and why take 15 minutes out of your day, which I can also get on board with. If you are busy, it may be an interruption into your day, but I do also think it would be beneficial just to be able to take that time, ping pong ideas off of the managers if you need assistance with anything. But like Tim said, he's very busy and I can see that from the role that he's in. So the day as it went through, we discussed various different things such as time management. That's something that's really been something I've wanted to ask around with different managers, how they manage their time, because it's evident how busy they all are. For Tim, he shared he doesn't like to have a planner as such. He doesn't use IEX, OneNote or set a flag system in Outlook. He's very much mentally planned, so he knows exactly what needs to be done by month's end and that's his goal, which for me is a bit scary. In all honesty, I do like to have a bit of a routine and a plan in mind, so at least I can tick things off as I'm going along. But if that's the way it works for Tim, that's the way it works for Tim, and I admire that, because it would be nice to be that free with work. But he advised the reason that he does do this is anything can drop on his plate at any time, so why set yourself up to have a plan for the day and it ultimately fail? Because I can imagine that can be quite disheartening as well, thinking I've sent that time to an agent to have their one-to-one or their coaching and something's dropped on my plate. So I do really understand where he's coming from with that aspect as well. For example, dropping things on his plate, we were in the middle of a call evaluation, sitting side by side and listening, looking at how we'd mark the call using the criteria form, and it was going swimmingly until an escalation dropped on his plate. So for me it was exciting because I'd not witnessed how an escalation would be dealt in that side of the world. So straight away, Tim observed what needed to be done, tried to contact the relevant stakeholders, but unfortunately was unable to speak with them. So that led on to a little powwow session with Helen Mansell, where they went outside and chatted about next steps. For me, seeing how they interacted with each other, it was really formal, and it was a case of, well, this is what needs to happen, this is what needs to be done, and full trust was put into Tim from Helen, which I think shows a great communication and respect between the two. When then dealing with agents in regards to the escalation, it was via email, so that there was a structure there and for auditing purposes. Unfortunately, the escalation as it was going through the day led to various email exchanges that did get misinterpreted in a way. So this resulted in great advice from Tim: never write when you're angry, pick up the phone and speak to people. And straight away that allows you then to speak, have clarity on a conversation and discuss exactly what needs to happen. And to me, that again outshines as a brilliant team leader aspect role, because you're showing that, hey, we all need to pick up the phone and speak to each other if there's something that really needs a good discussion. So moving on from there, we looked at how do you manage looking after such a diverse team. So there's agents in Stoke, there's agents in Manchester. So he discussed how he spends and spreads his time trying to be in contact with every agent. I understand it may be hard because it means whenever you are based in a different location, you have to rely solely on IEM. And I asked the question, does that impact on your relationship with the agents? And it was really evident there was no need to ask that, because the amount of rapport that I saw between the agents in Stoke and agents in Manchester via IEM, everybody really respects Tim. And I think that is because he's shown what an approachable manager he is. So to fully scope the day, it was fantastic to look at what the Converge will look like. It's a very, very big project that they've taken on, and he's doing a super job educating all the agents around him on how to work with the new processes and systems, which do look crazy, if I'm in all honesty. There's a lot of work to be done to get it perfect, but I think in Tim's hands it'll get there. To me, the day, I felt that I got loads of information from, and it wasn't just a case of learning about the processes and what the Converged will look like, but actually just seeing how a team leader can interact and manage his time in a really very busy world. Thanks for watching the video, and I hope that you've enjoyed it. Take care.